How are you all doing, guys? Today I'm in the mood to preach. But I have to eat first. Hunger, they worry me. Ah, I've got a very lovely and interesting topic today. You guys will love it. Don't send me requests. Make una help me tag Jelu. Somebody say anything for the boys. Nothing. At all. Nothing there. Can you help me tag mom with cape? Remember Jelo promised yesterday that she'll read Bible for us today. I have a very interesting topic. Let me ask you, cow meat or goat meat? Which one do you prefer? Cow meat or goat meat? Or I say both. No, you have to choose one. More people are picking goat meat than cow meat. Oh. Help me find mom with cape. This topic is going to be very interesting. But I need a lady in the house. Remy, mom with cape. I don't call everybody. Who else? Who else reads for us? As I dey chop, I dey use and find who go read for me. Can somebody help me tag Ife? If he can read for me. You know that Ife girl that was with us yesterday? Kamaru, help me tag them now. Delia. Delia has never read Bible for me before, and she's always busy. I need someone that can read for me.
I'm at work. Hi.
I knew you were going to let me down.
Yeah, I'm at work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Look at you looking beautiful.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to Henry the Great.
Happy birthday, Henry the Great. Happy birthday to you.
Echo will be busy around this time.
Oh,
If Echo is free, why not?
I'm looking for Vic, simple Vic.
Vic is busy. I can't even see him.
I know. Okay. Let's look for.
Hey, Remy is calling me. Remy. Bolowa.
Remy.
I'm going to send them video call already.
Yes, bye-bye.
Bye, my darling. Mo fẹ́ kó wá ka Bible fún mi, ìyá mi. I'm in the mood. Impromptu. Inspiration. Remini, this night. They can hear your voice. They can't see you, though. Only me can see you.
Are you serious?
Do you want to have your shower and sleep, or what? What is your plan? Ah. Can you? Maybe 45 minutes.
No, it's okay. All right. Just one moment.
All right, my dear.
Oh my God, there's not even chance. All right, there, later.
The miss is on. Seems to be on track. Remy seems to be available. Yeah. I don't know whether Ofure don't read Bible for me before. I don't know whether she fit. Anyway, Remy has already agreed, so lucky us. Let me just bring Ofure to look for our troubles more while we're waiting for Remy. I'm not the one delaying, it's Remy.
Hi, dear.
How are you, darling? Where are you?
I'm okay. I'm outside.
Someone said I have a question to ask. Shegun, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, I can't read Bible for you. This is noisy.
I know, I know.
Yeah, if you're enjoying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How have you been?
I've been doing okay, but it's very cold today. Everything's fine.
So this guy asked me a question. He said, does God really exist? Or maybe I should allow you to help me answer it.
Yes, God exists. Why not? Let me mute this TV. Give me 1 second. Yes. Okay. Yes, God do exist. Yes. He does.
You see, when you are dealing with people asking you critical questions or science questions, God
Yeah.
exists because you now offer a reason why.
You said what?
When you are answering questions to people who are asking
Yeah.
critical questions, you say God exists because, and you offer some sort of explanation.
That's what I just said. I said the birds, the trees, river, nature, everything. It shows that God exists.
Let me play devil's advocate. I disagree. The Chinese people don't worship our God, and they have birds and trees and all these things you mentioned too.
So how did they find themselves here on earth?
Evolution gives a much better explanation than creation. Trust me.
Okay, me, I do know that God exists. That's my belief.
Do you
and I have
know
evidence.
or do you believe? You've got to be able to differentiate between two.
I know the two. I know.
How do you know? How do you, for you to, you see, knowledge,
Yes.
hold on, knowledge is transferable, transmittable. It can be replicated. It is
Absolutely.
different from a belief system. You cannot tie the two together. That's why he said, what are the facts and everything? You see, that's the problem with religious people. When somebody who is a critical thinker asks you a question and you answer from the bosom of religion, they'll trap you. Okay, what are the facts and the evidences? I can tell you Ofure exists because she's live on my camera. I can Google Ofure Okojie and something will show up on LinkedIn or something. I can trace you down to your house if I wanted to. So when they say, does God exist? What's your answer? You can't say you know. Knowledge means
Go ahead.
I know that the Bible was written, the New Testament was written in Greek, Koine Greek, because I've seen the papyruses and I've done my investigation and I have enough evidence. By the time I submit the Codex Vaticanus, the Codex Sinaiticus, the critical text, the majority text, by the time I submit the Textus Receptus, we have enough available material to prove that the New Testament was first written in Greek. So he's asking, what are the facts and the evidences? Why am I doing this to you? Because you're going to raise children that are not going to be like you. And they're going to drill you. And then you're going to get stuck.
They will drink their papa.
They go drill their papa. When they drill their papa finish, their papa go push them, come meet you. And in America, you don't shout. You see, in Nigeria, if you tell your children, shut up, believe it. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
Abroad children, you have to answer them.
of course. That the Prince Remy will come and help us.
I don't want to stress Remy. I want to stress you. Remy is going to come and read Bible.
Oh dear, but I'm somewhere. I just came.
I'm not. I just want, you see, if you ask me that same question,
Okay, Daddy Prince, how do you know that God exists?
I don't know. I just choose to believe that God exists. I don't have any evidence for God existing. Neither do I have any evidence for God not existing. I believe that God exists. And in a world where we don't know everything, we are allowed to have beliefs. The only time we are not allowed to have beliefs is when evidence against those beliefs exists. So if I believe that God exists, but you can prove to me that God does not exist beyond reasonable doubt, me holding on to my belief is now dogma, is no longer a belief. So personally, I am personally convicted that God exists. It's my belief. It's my explanation for the things I cannot explain, for the things I cannot understand, for the things I have no answers for. I choose to believe that God exists. Can I tell you categorically that God exists? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that I believe that God exists. Kamaruddin said the theory of the unseen hand. Sometimes I don't believe that in that whole God made people. I've argued. Listen, if God made men, we will all look like Anthony Joshua. If God created us, we will all look. Have you seen Anthony Joshua? That's how a perfect human being looks. A perfect man. The height, the muscle, the have you seen Anthony Joshua is a perfect example of how a male should look like. Not me, that's pot belly. When we talk of a woman too, do you think God will create you will not be finer than Halle Berry? Hopefully. God created you and you are short. Now your parents create you.
I'm not short.
You are not short, because I agree that somebody that is 4'9" is still tall. 4'9" is still tall, I agree. But I'm just making an example for other people that are like below 4'9". Like 4'9" is okay. 4'9" is okay. It's people that are like 4'8" that are short. You are not short, you are 4'9". You understand?
Just say what you want to say.
So what I'm trying to say is, look at me, I'm bald-headed. Do you really think God made me to be bald-headed? If God made me, I look like Anthony Joshua. I'll be perfect. Everything God made is perfect. Then God created somebody that has sickle cell. How? God created a process called reproduction. Your parents use that process to create you. There was no reproduction. Quote and unquote is still arguable, but we can suppose there was no reproduction before Adam and Eve. And after God created Adam and Eve, he created a process for them called reproduction, and Cain came through the process of reproduction. Adam knew his wife, and she had a son, and his name was Cain. That's when God stopped work on creation.
That is phrase, I'm not 4'9", I'm 5 something. I'm not 4'9".
I know you are 5'1" when you wear heels. I know. Ofure, you are 5'1" when you wear heels. I know.
No, I'm not 5'1", dear, for real.
When you wear heels, I know. When you don't, it's 4'9".
No, I'm 5'4" when I don't wear nothing. Seriously, I'm not joking. It's true.
Okay, you know what? You're going to go to a hospital and you're going to stand beside the scale
I
so that.
just went there. I just came back from
We didn't know now. Is it
and
your?
they do, you know how they do your vitals, check your
As they are doing your
blood pressure
vitals,
and everything.
let somebody hold the camera.
Still 5-4. I will send you personally that part of my results. I will send it to you. So
Okay,
I'm not
okay.
4'9". I'm not short, everybody.
Okay,
So
you are
I'm
not short. It's just that
I'm
5'4" and
labubu.
below is
I'm
labubu.
not.
So you are still labubu.
Okay, dear. Bye.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Where is Sama? Remy, are you ready?
Okay, dear. I gotta go.
Bye. Thank you so much, darling.
Bye.
Remy, are you ready for me? I've been trying to buy time. Let me bring Echo to gist with me a bit. Echo, baby. We're going to have an amazing time today. Nobody said 5'4" is too short. Hey, the finest woman.
Because I can't read no Bible.
No problem. I just wanted you to gist with me while we're waiting for Remy, who is supposedly charging her phone. Let me go and drop my plates. How have you been? Gist me.
I'm charging my phone.
Where are you?
Sit down. Anyway, good evening.
Good evening. Where are you?
Sorry?
Where are you?
I'm at home. I strained my leg in the gym, so.
Hey, gym will not kill our people.
They say we should work out now. I've worked out now. Enter Wahala.
Gym will not kill us in this Nigeria.
Oh, goodness.
I'm coming. Let me wash my hands.
Oh, spirit the massage. What kind of spiritual massage do you want to do? Kamoro spirit. So, just with you. So, does God exist? I also believe that God exists. That's a belief. It's not. I don't have any facts to prove it. What is me saying? So, supposing my phone is 16%. Okay. Come up now. You can still manage, or you bring the charger near where you can read the Bible. Me, I'm in pain. Let me come up. Come and read Bible. Don't say that. Let Kamorudin come and read Bible. Kamorudin, you know, if you come up here now to come and read this Bible now, you bring traffic. Oh, okay. Jello, come and read Bible. Good evening. Come and read Bible. You did a great job yesterday. Thank you. You guys, I don't even know what to say. I wish I can bring somebody up, but I don't have the power. So, Jello, you two are at work. Okay.
I'm coming. Don't be angry.
What's going to happen today?
Please don't be angry, my darling.
I'm not reading. Come and read Bible now. With the lights of spirit. How do you mean?
Echo, I'm coming.
No worries. How do you mean, Anchor well? Anchor what? You're not even serious. So who created you, Kamarudin? God created you. Okay. In his own perfect image. Hmm?
Yeah. Hey.
What kind of question is this? We are reading Bible here. This is Bible service, okay?
What's the person asking?
If I'm still single.
Tamari wọn sí nìyẹn. Orí wọn ò kúkú pé.
Yeah.
Echo.
This war. Come and read Bible.
Bene.
So you that know that say yes, God exists, that's a belief. It's a belief. We just choose to believe that God exists. Nobody have seen God and can say that we can feel him maybe. Or we haven't seen God, no one knows. So it's just a choice. It's a choice. We choose to believe that there is God. And we cannot impose our belief on anyone. It is something, it's an individual journey. So if you choose to believe that there is God, well, there is God. If you choose to believe that there is no God, there are people who choose to believe that there is no God, and they are still living, doing okay. So it's a choice. Even the Bible says so. You can't impose it on anyone. Yes, I can hold a conversation. I'm a grown adult. I don't even know this Cameroonian this year.
Uh-huh.
Please, you need more facts than evidence. I don't understand. What do you mean that you need facts than evidence? What's the fact that you know about God? You can't just say just believe. You can't just believe that there is God. You have to. Where's your proof? It's a choice to believe. Okay, God touched you. How did he touch you? Explain.
What are you doing? I can see you. What are you doing? Oh yeah, call her.
Yeah, it's about you
All
just
right.
believe that it is God. You don't know.
Echo, I'm so proud of you. You handled this so well. I almost left you to it.
I'm reading the comments and I'm answering what they are saying there.
Sometimes I want us to have sessions where we can discuss. Now, if you're watching live on YouTube, I'm going to download from the part we start the session and load it as a separate video. Because I know a lot of people will complain, oh, Daddy Freeze, you ate. I just wanted us to have that bonding time. So there's going to be a separate video with the teaching alone, just in case you are not patient. And I'll label it properly. I'll just label this as hanging out. You understand, on YouTube. So it's not going to be anything major.
So Remy said she has sent a request, but
okay.
I don't think you.
Alrighty, so let me accept. You see, I say this to people all the time, yeah. Our parents,
Hi, Remy.
were taught the faith. Our parents were taught the faith through fear. You have to believe this. If you don't believe this, you're going to go to hell. You understand? It's not going to work with our children, and that's why churches are closing in the UK and in the civilized world. If you understand what I'm talking about, ain't nobody got time for that BS. So you're going to say, yeah, well, you have to believe it. When I was young, they used to beat us to pray. And I'm like, why do you have to beat me to serve God? Nobody beats me to drive a Ferrari or wear a nice watch. Why don't you teach me from a point where I want to be a part of this? In the free nation, I would never tell you that there's God. The best I can do is tell you that I believe in God. You understand? And it's a choice I made because I've not been convinced that God does not exist. You understand? And I can say I have felt him. Maybe 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what I thought was feeling God might have been explained in some other way or form. Yeah. But you know, when I'm it's one of the arguments I have with my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law say, this is like this. And I say, why? And she said, it works for me. And I'll say, well, there are several people who are doing as well as you are doing, even better than you and I are doing, and don't believe in God. So the fact that something is working for you, unless you are Elon Musk, that you have attained what Elon Musk has made the kind of money no human being alive has made. Maybe Solomon made it, Mansa Mensa made it in their own time, but in today's reality, no one has made $600 billion. If Elon Musk says it, then I can say, okay. Elon Musk said he goes to that prayer session on Instagram every morning. I can say, okay. You understand? But you're average. We're all average. You understand? There's really nothing about us. We're all average people living average lives. If you say you are happy, there are people who are happier than you. If you say in that job that you are going to, Remy, you get Oga, I mean you don't get. Your Oga senior you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what do you measure success by? We all have our little, am I successful? In my own eyes, by my own judgment, I'm successful. I might not be successful to Remy. I'm definitely not successful to Dangote. The problem is the things I have, I value them. I like having my time. I like working in the limelight. I'm used to it all my life. I don't really care about making money. You know all those people that someone say, Daddy Freeze, all this one that you will do and show. I don't really care about the money we make and hide. I don't know if we make that kind of money. Oh, real billionaires don't buy LV. Okay, I don't want to be a real billionaire. Can I just be a fake one and I'll be able to afford the LV? Oh, real billionaires don't show off their watches. Now Mark Zuckerberg has started showing off his Grubel Fosse, FP John collection. Everybody has kept quiet. Mark Zuckerberg entered the watch game and drowned everybody else. As in, he entered from the top. His watch game is silly. It's absurd. There are watches that there are only 3 in this world. Mark Zuckerberg get one. They don't seize light. You understand what I'm saying? So, people need to stop using themselves. Our parents did that. Oh, God has done so many miraculous things in my life. And I'm like, okay, you don't own a Ferrari. You don't own a jet. You don't talk to president. So what's that miraculous thing God has done? Okay, you did not buy, you entered 50. You are alive. You understand? My dad will tell you that God has kept him alive. Okay, so who kept what's his name? Warren Buffett alive. Warren Buffett is alive. He's not diabetic. He's not hypertensive. He's 95 years old. He's still in business. He's still working. He's now 95 years old and one of the richest people on earth. So if my father said God kept him alive, I'll tell him that your God that you serve is doing a better job in the life of Warren Buffett than he's doing in your own life. Because Warren Buffett does not serve your God. Okay, he serves something else. That thing is working. Abi,
Yeah.
whatever it is that he believes in, same if you ask him to show proof, he's showing proof. You are not. Yeah, hello there. What's wrong?
There are people
What
in
happened?
the world that they do whatever they want. People in power, and they are controlling the world. And they are actually like gods of the world, and and they are not claiming that their powers were given to them by God, because they believe they have the power to do whatever they want. Leaders of the world, presidents, people controlling power. So it's everyone's choice to believe. Have you ready say something?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's people can believe whatever they want to believe. I mean, it is not our job to.
I'm about to go live. Let me
Make
just run
people,
downstairs and see you briefly.
Make people believe,
Okay.
That God does exist.
Once you get there, let me go.
We can tell them that God does exist.
Well, you two, why did you get off
them.
the phone that long?
But it is not for us to try to convince them. We can't do God's work for him. I mean, that's what I think.
Say that again, Remy. Sorry, I was dealing with something.
I said that it is not our job to make people believe whether or not God exists. We can tell them that he does. We can say it. Or
you see, we can share our beliefs with them.
Yes.
And let me tell you something here. I've always liked watches, but I never started collecting watches until I met one of my... I always felt I'll have one or two nice watches until I met a former boss of mine who had a watch collection. I never believed I'll collect pens. It was that same guy. I just used to like the way he used to come to the office, have an ink pot, you understand? Put ink in his pen and start writing.
Wow. Old school.
You understand? I can't say motivated, but it kind of made me like that. You understand? There should be a way, and I'm looking for that way, in which we're going to teach people about God without having to teach them that okay, let me tell you something here. In watch collecting, if you ask me, what's the advantage of watch collecting? To you that you are not a watch collector, I'll say, well, the watches hold value. But how many of my watches have I ever sold and made money on? Maybe one. You understand? And I have almost 40 something. How many have I sold to actually make money on? Peter used to tell me that thing. Say, Baba, okay, you believe that? Okay, I'll sell some of your watches. Let's carry the money and go and invest. I say, no. He could laugh me. Say, you see? So thinking about it, I'm not doing it because of the gain. I'm not necessarily doing it to cover any loss. I'm just doing it because I like it. We have to find that point where we can sell God to people, not because it's going to solve your problems, not because you are going to go to hell if you don't believe in Him, and not because it is a prerequisite for heaven for you to believe in Him, but simply because you are drawn to Him, you find Him intriguing, you want to be a part of this. If you ask me, because the moment I start telling you that, oh, God, this, God, the next thing you say, okay, Daddy Freeze, I want to look at your life and see why I should follow your God. I don't know if I'm making sense to you, Remy.
Yeah.
And just like everybody else, I'm flawed. I have my weaknesses. I have my fleshy desires. I don't have a perfect family. I'm in a good place in my family, but it's not perfect. I have children I've not seen in 10 years. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't need, if you are around me, I will mention God because I believe in God. But I'm also intelligent enough not to draw God into certain conversations. Like yesterday night, the beautiful way we're embarrassed when we're saying we are praying for the Super Eagles to win. Like, WT, what? Do you understand? Because when you draw God into certain conversations, you embarrass God. Okay, they've beaten us and our God. Normally, they have beaten only us. Do you understand what I'm saying, Remy?
Yeah.
We went to play football and the better team won, or the team who knows how to rig better won, or the luckier team won. The moment we bring God into a conversation, when we don't win, not only have they beaten us, they are beating both us and our God. I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Yeah.
So I tell people all the time, be careful not to bring God into certain conversations because you're going to embarrass God. You're going to make those who can think critically have less value for your God. If Remy houses a stranger who she doesn't know for a year and brings money that she kept aside for her holiday and gives that person the money to go to school, and that person goes to school and comes out successful, and she puts God in that equation, people will be drawn to her. Do you understand? Each time you say, oh, this person that is sick, I'm praying that they will survive, and then the person dies, you now have to make an excuse for God. Well, God decides to save who He saves. You could have saved or not saved even if you didn't pray. Do you understand? To the critical thinker, you're like, okay, so you prayed, you cried, you rolled on the floor, and the person still cried. And then you now have to now make an excuse for God's failure by saying, well, He chooses whom to save and whom not to save. All those things are speculative things that make critical thinkers depart from God. I don't want you to sell God to me because God did this in your life. Because you know me, I'm not well. I've told all Nigerian pastors, from the smallest to the tallest, from the youngest to the oldest, any day, I have people who their leg have cut off. I have a woman that has her whole leg is rotting away. Come and pray and heal it, and I will join your church. Don't need to tell me that you change AA to AS or AS to AA, HIV plus to HIV minus. All those things are nonsense. A billionaire refused to take high blood pressure medicine and started kabashing, believing that she'll be healed. She was in her aeroplane, and the aeroplane encountered some dangerous turbulence. Her own personal jet too. Her blood pressure spiked and she lost her eyes. She lost her eyes. That should have been her failure, but she has now dragged God into it. So that is a human enabled God failure. And a critical thinker is not going to see that and believe that you have faith. The critical thinker is going to see that and believe that you're stupid and your God is stupid with you. I'm telling you. We have boys that we sent to school. They've finished, they've graduated now. I think I lost touch with them. Blind boys. One of them told me their story. His vision was 15%. They took him to church. They told him to stop using his medication and prayed and poured olive oil inside his eye to heal it. The vision went overnight from 15% to 7%. Eye where they manage, they don't come put olive oil inside. So, we human beings have a unique and uncanny way of transferring our successes to our God and our failures to our God. And because our failures are more than our successes, our God doesn't look like he can pass WAEC. I don't know if I'm making sense to you, Remy. Do you understand? If somebody like Bill Gates came out, his successes are more than his failures. He has financial success, he has power, he has I'm talking Bill Gates can call Tinubu. If Bill Gates wants to talk to Tinubu, he just call Dangote, say, Aliko, I want to talk to Tinubu. There's something I want to do. He will talk to Tinubu within 48 hours. They will schedule him a call. If he wants to talk to Trump, they will schedule him a call. If he wants to talk to Prime Minister, if he wants to talk to Prince Charles, King Charles, they will schedule him a call. He has everything that a human being wants. Money and power. It's not everybody that has the combination of both. He has them. Same thing with Elon Musk. Elon Musk was part of the people that put Trump in where he is. He has more successes than failures. Yes, they both failed in marriage. But aside that, can you count how many other things they failed in? Me and you also failed in marriage, Abiremi. You understand what I'm saying? But we now cannot walk into president's offices. We cannot. Bill Gates can wake up tomorrow and buy a $100 million boat. I'm not sure me and you can wake up tomorrow and buy a $100,000 car without first grinding everywhere, locking this, borrowing money. You understand? So at the end of the day, if me and you are using our lives as motivation to get people to worship our God, we're not going to win. And when your pastors come, you look at them, and what are their successes? They are successful. Bill Gates is successful outside religion. He's successful in a field. Your pastors are successful inside religion. It is you. Your waste products are what they are consuming. Your pastor is your soakaway. Now, waiting you chop remain, I in the chop. When they give you your salary, you remove out of it to give him. He doesn't have anything that is generating money. Those ones on YouTube that are generating money, they are generating money because you are watching them. I'm also a YouTuber. The reason why your pastor makes more money than me on YouTube is because there are more people watching him than me. And who are the people watching? The same Nigerians who have been fed the same thing their children are going to reject. So I want us to go into the meat of today's message. And maybe I should just pray quickly and then we go into it. Heavenly Father, I thank you for giving us the opportunity to gather in your name. I thank you for your mercies, your kindness, your direction, your love, and the peace that you have brought upon us. I ask that you direct this session, O Lord. In Yahushua's name we pray. Amen. So going into today's message, the title of the message is, let me post it again on Instagram. So that is it. Christianity, purity culture, teenagers, and young adults. How old is your oldest child, Eko Abiola?
26.
Okay, so you have dealt with anything I possibly could have dealt with in my life. Because my oldest is 24.
Well, 2 years is not a good, big difference for.
It's a lot too. It's a world apart. And my 24-year-old son, I'm not in his life. He's one of the kids I've not seen in a long time. But I have 24-year-old, 23-year-old daughter, 21-year-old daughter, 18-year-old daughter, and so on and so forth. Have you guys heard of a term called purity culture?
Jesus.
Remy, can you just help us? What is purity culture? Can you just help us with Google's definition? We can work with that. That's fine.
But let me get my phone. I'm charging the other phone.
Okay.
Yeah, just one moment.
Or Echo, if you have a spare phone, maybe you can help.
Well,
Still.
purity culture is a movement dominated in the 90s, 2000s, evangelical scene, promoting critics sexual abstinence until marriage, often using purity rings, and intense messaging about remaining pure, physically and spiritually from the sexual thoughts and acts, enforcing rich menstrual gender rules and emphasizing female modesty to avoid tempting men, leading into widespread benching shame, anxiety, body image issues, and difficulty with intimacy. For many, it's created in an industry around vanity.
Vanity.
Well, not V as in linking the person worth to benching purity, and often carried harmful messages for women, especially women of color, by intertwining racial standards with purity ideas.
Okay. All right. Remy, what do you understand by purity culture?
I think basically do we not practice that same culture here
In Nigeria.
in Nigeria?
Maybe you should read your own. Just Google. Maybe I used. What did you use? You used Google, Abby Ekwabiola.
Yeah, good.
Remy, do you have ChatGPT?
On the phone I'm using for live now.
Okay, so let me just use mine. Purity culture meaning. So
I think it's basically what we do in Nigeria.
I want us to read it, then we can now
Right.
chat. So hold on, Remy. Once I read it, then you go ahead and talk. Purity culture refers to a social and religious movement most commonly associated with conservative Christianity that places a strong emphasis on sensual abstinence before marriage and frames a person's moral worth, especially a woman's, around her purity. Benching before marriage is considered sinful and wrong. Virginity is very valued. Modesty rules, especially for girls and women, to avoid tempting others. Bench is often discussed in terms of shame, fear, or consequences rather than health, consent, or mutual pleasure. Responsibility for sensual behavior is frequently placed more heavily on women. Purity pledges on vows, purity rings, father-daughter purity balls, teaching that dating should be highly controlled or avoided. So I'm going to focus on the four terms. Benching before marriage, V is highly valued, modesty rules, bench is often discussed in terms of shame or fear, responsibility for sensual behavior is placed more heavily on the woman. Now, Remy, go ahead and have a session, then I'll talk.
No, dear, go ahead. I mean, I'm sure we all have,
It sounds
we
like
have protests now.
Mhm. It sounds like what they practice in
In Nigeria.
cultural or
Okay, so
churches.
I was doing a deep study on religion and religious practices and rituals. A religious ritual, going to church is a religious ritual, something you do habitually. As an example. And I want to talk about pork. Many sociologists, hold on, let me look for the work of one of the psychologists that I studied on this. I'm so sorry, guys. I want to be, because I know I'm going to be critiqued. So I want to be as accurate as possible. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
Have you heard of Bertrand Russell?
No, not me.
English philosopher, mathematician. He said something. He said, anyone who is willing to divide the world into the righteous and the unrighteous are just a small push away from some terrible brutality. Anyone who is willing to divide the world into the righteous and the unrighteous is only a small fraction away from a really bad brutality.
Yeah.
When we divide the world into pure and impure, saints and sinners, what we're actually doing is creating an elaborate system of ethics where the herd justifies itself in wreaking punishment upon things it dislikes. When you simply disagree with someone, you probably treat them with respect. If you have a problem with your neighbor, you settle it peacefully. But if somebody labels your neighbor as a monster or rivals as subhuman, they do so because they want to inflict punishment and pain upon them. They want to create an outlet for their sadism and mask their cruelty in a form of justice. And this is one of the biggest problems with religion. Saints and sinners, good and bad, without having much room for dialogue or for gray areas. Imagine there are God-loved people and those who are the outcast, the heathen. That's how lynching crusades, MURDR, witch hunts, that's how they all started. Pascal says, men never do evil as completely and as cheerfully as when it is done from religious conviction. When man does evil from religious conviction, it is done so cheerfully. It is done so from a place of moral superiority. We can actually have enemies without buying our enemies. But you see, the problem that is there is what religion does when you have this purity culture is they label a girl who has had more than one bench partner as an HO and a V as good. I've been with Vs who are half lunatics. Now, I want us to talk about this. I was doing, like I said, a deep dive on religion. and some of the laws that we have in place. And I decided to research pork. Why is pork considered bad? Even to today, some cardiac surgeons will tell you that they will never eat bacon. What's that one thing you never eat? They'll say bacon. You understand? I love bacon. I love the taste of bacon. But I cannot say that I don't see how unhealthy it is. I don't know, Remy, do you eat bacon?
No.
Why?
Right.
It's basically unhealthy. I mean, you've just said it.
You understand? So,
Same.
so I eat it. It's unhealthy. But I eat it because I love the taste. I just don't eat it all the time. I try to minimize. I eat bacon maybe if I stay a month or a weekend or a week at a hotel and I go for breakfast and they have bacon, I will eat the bacon. You understand? If I come to the UK and I go to order a burger from Burger King, it must have bacon. But that's like once or twice a year. You understand? My father doesn't eat bacon because he's Muslim. It is easier to convince someone not to do something from a faith perspective than from a health perspective. It's way easier. Because I was still eat. If you could convince me, when I was Muslim, I didn't eat bacon because I believed it was haram. When I left Islam, I started eating bacon. Now there's this thing called slanina in Romania. It's made out of pork fat. You understand what I'm saying? It's made out of pork fat. Smoked pork fat. It is so nice. It is poor people's food. As in, is the lowest, is what gypsies eat, give their children to eat. Every family has it. Every family. Sorry?
The white.
Yes, it's white.
Okay, I know.
You know what it is? It's like pork fat. They slice it and put it on bread, and it's so nice. It's very salty, but it's so nice. So I remember I was, how old was I then? I think I was in SS1. I just came back from Romania and started SS1, if I remember accurately. So I traveled with my mom to Romania, and my dad, on our way to the airport, my dad said, now that you guys have embraced Islam, I hope you know that you can't eat pork. I was like, it's true. I was happy to travel. I'd not traveled in a while. So we all traveled. So we stayed with my late great grandmother. No, sorry, great grandmother. My great had died and my grandmother had died, but my great grandmother was alive. That's my mother's grandmother. So first thing, you know, Romanians, when you come, they'll spread table for you. And one of the things that was on the table was this slanina. Hey, entered my eye. I was with my younger sister, Lola. My other sisters were babies then. So they were like in primary 2, primary 3 kind of baby. Because I'm 9 years older than my mom's last born. So if I was in SS1, count 9 years, you'd probably be in primary 3. And the other one maybe in primary 4. So those ones no get mouth. Now waiting, we tell them that we don't. I was in SS1. My younger sister was in GSS 2. You understand? So we're mature enough. So my younger sister said, no, that she doesn't eat pork, or that she's Muslim. Me too, I said, I don't eat pork, or I'm Muslim. Baba, on the third day like this, as they serve the thing, I don't begin cut out. My sister look me say, but you're a Muslim. I know those answer. I know they cut the thing. The thing enter my eye. I felt bad about it. But now when I go to Burger King and I order a burger with bacon, I feel bad because I know this bacon is not healthy, but I don't feel bad enough to feel like, oh God, God's gonna hate me. You understand what I'm saying? So, if we look at something like pork, for instance, I did a study on pork. Why is pork hated? Because pork carried some bacteria at a point where there was no, where there were no antibiotics. Nobody understood. So they just noticed that people ate a lot of pork and got sick. And the best way to wind out of it was by telling them that God does not like you to eat pork. I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
You understand? So it's the easiest way. There is a Bible verse. I want Remy to help with it. I'm looking for it.
That's fine.
Just hang on a second.
I know another reason why they say Christians shouldn't eat pork is because, when Christ cast, there was a miracle Christ performed where he cast out, what do you call it, demons from this man. I think
He cast it into
was
a pig,
into
a herd of
pigs.
swine, and they all entered the water.
Swine, yes.
But you see,
Yeah.
that Christ did not say, he did not cast it into every pig in the world.
I know.
He cast it specifically into some pigs that
Those
were
ones
there.
that bite straight
Straight away.
into water.
So, and it's not like they survived it and they reproduced, so they were able to pass on their DNA. They're gone. You see, one of the most very stupid things about religion is the generalization of it. Like, let me give you an example. People don't eat meat on Good Friday. Why? 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 Show me Bible. No. I had this argument with a priest once. There's what you call sola scriptura, meaning you are using only the Bible. Everything you do must be biblical. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense to you. They call it sola scriptura. And then the church does not rely on it. I'm like, yeah, I have no problem with the church. But okay, the ones that you're adding, where did you get them from? How did you bring them in? You understand? Okay, you don't want us to stick with only the scriptures. Fine. The meat that you are not eating on Friday, how did it become a culture? Who gave you the authority to make it a culture? Why must you be judging me for eating meat on Friday? I eat meat on that free John nonsense that they do. I don't do it with anybody. On Good Friday, I eat meat. Easter Sunday, I eat meat. Because first of all, I don't even believe that Christ died on Good Friday. If the Bible says he was in the belly of the earth 3 days and 3 nights, help me calculate Friday to Sunday. If you go to a hotel on Friday and you pay for 3 days and 3 nights and they come and check you out before dawn on Sunday morning, you don't go do live video from the hotel, guys. This hotel is cheating me.
Yeah.
Just use it to book hotel. Just go to the hotel and say, I want to book 3 days. Hotel first day check-in 12 noon. Last day check-in. Check-in 2 p.m. Check out 12 noon.
Yeah. That would be Monday morning.
Monday morning. As in, without a shadow of a doubt. And the Bible says they went to the tomb before dawn and he had already gone. How is that 3 days and 3 nights? You understand? I'm not going to join you in this foolishness. I'm sorry about it. If you are saying you don't want to do sola scriptura, no problem. Okay, you want to bring in additions. These additions you are bringing in, can you tell us where you got them, the F from? So, the Bible verse. Now, there were so many rules in the Bible that were sanitary rules. I'll give you an example. Remy, help me out. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 12. Help me, Remy. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 12.
You must have a designated area outside the camp where you can go to relieve yourself. And each of you must have a spade as part of your equipment. Whenever you relieve yourself, dig a hole with the spade and cover the excrement. The camp must be holy, for the Lord your God moves around in your camp to protect you and to defeat your enemies. He must not see any shameful thing among you, or he will turn away from you.
Okay, so let's talk about this. You must not have a place where you poo within the camp. It must be outside the camp. All of you have toilets inside your bathroom, inside your bedrooms. Do you realize this?
Times have changed.
No, but this was a law. This was a law so important that if we were to use this law, we would dare not, because this is one of the promises of God. He said he will defeat your enemies if you don't have a toilet inside your camp. It actually came with a warning. Remy, read it again, I beg you.
So verse 12 says, you must have a designated area outside the camp where you can go to relieve yourself. And each of you must have a spade as part of your equipment. Whenever you relieve yourself, dig a hole with the spade and cover the excrement. And the camp must be holy, for the Lord your God moves around in your camp to protect you and to defeat your enemies. You must not see any shameful thing among you, or he will turn away from you.
So God will literally leave you. If you had a toilet in your estate, not in your house, in your estate, today you have a toilet in your room.
And God still hears us.
And God still hears you.
Some people pray in the toilet, or in the bathroom.
I don't know if I'm making sense to you.
Nope. God
still hears you. That's why when I say this Old Testament, nothing concerns you with them, when I go begin to fight me. Now part of ambitious. God said if he sees anything shameful, shameful means that you must not have a toilet in your estate. It must be, you know what the camp is? Where they settle to live, outside. Is where the only place. And this thing caused a lot of problems. Remy, please read Exodus chapter 16, verse 29.
Right. It says they must realize that the Sabbath is the Lord's gift to you. That is why he gives you a 2-day supply on the 6th day. So there will be enough for 2 days. On the Sabbath day, you must each stay in your place and do not go out to pick up food on the 7th day. So the people did not gather any food on the seventh day.
Okay, so read it again.
So I'll read from verse 29. They must realize that the Sabbath is the Lord's gift to you, and that is why he gives you a 2-day supply on the 6th day. So there will be enough for 2 days. On the Sabbath, you must each stay in your place. Do not go out to pick food on the 7th day. So the people did not gather any food on the 7th day.
All right. So on the Sabbath, you are not allowed to leave the camp. Now, there were two translations to this. There was a set of people, I've forgotten their names now. I think it was Josephus. Josephus was the one that did that distinction between how two people read this. So let me look for. I'm sorry, I didn't plan to use this. I'm looking for that. Maybe it's not so important, but anyway, I'll just say a set of people. So there were two interpretations. There was a Pharisee interpretation, and there were these other people. These people were so holy that they believed that you must obey everything in scripture. So guess what? On Saturday, which was the Sabbath, they will hold their pool.
The Pharisees.
Not the Pharisees. The Pharisees drew a line around the camp and included the toilet area. So even though it is outside the camp, it is still within the camp area, so you can still go there on the Sabbath. I've forgotten the name of that line. If there's any Jewish scholar here, he may help me out. There's a name for it in Jewish tradition. So what they did was, those other ones said, no, the law is the law. We must obey the law. We cannot go outside the camp on the Sabbath. So we stay within the camp on the Sabbath. So what they will do is they will hold pool. Then the evening, once they ring the bell that the Sabbath is over, everybody will start running into the bush to go and relieve themselves. Yeah, it was like that. So the Pharisees, to accommodate that, now drew of course, yes, because it was a lot of debate in the Talmud. So the Pharisees now said, you know what? If this is what we're dealing with here, let us just draw a line around the camp and the toilet area in such a way that as long as nobody has crossed that line, you have not theoretically, or how do they put it, you have not left the camp. Both the Pharisees and these other people, I've forgotten who they were. I don't know if there's somebody who can help me with this, knew that the toilet can never be within the camp. My question now is, why do Christians have toilets inside their bedroom? Remy, why do you have a toilet in your bedroom?
Convenience. I mean, it's the normal thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be, exactly.
I grew up to know that. Yeah.
Do you know why you have a toilet? The Qumran! God bless you. Whoa! And that line, I think, is called the Tanaka. I'm not sure. But it's the Qumran. No, you don't have it for convenience. You have it because you can properly dispose of human waste without making yourselves sick. We have soap, antibiotics, antiseptics. We have germ theory. We understand what germs are. We have pipe-borne water. We have water closets. We have technology.
Electricity.
So, if we can move away from something that was considered ungodly, having a toilet inside your camp, forget inside your house. Imagine something that you're not supposed to have in your camp, you now have it in your house. You can't even think of having it in your bedroom. You can't even think of having it in your compound. It must be outside the settlement. So, for instance, if I use my estate, Remy has never come to my estate before. Simplific has. So, if I use my estate, that means our toilet has to be outside the gate of the estate. So, like now, I want to quickly go and poo. I'll just tell Remy, I'll just carry tissue from here or whatever it is, water, start going to the gate. Then I will now go to the toilet place. As I'm talking to you in my bedroom, there is a toilet and a bathroom. There is no room in my house that does not have toilet and bathroom. All rooms are en suite. So, if we can make amends and accommodate growth with something that God said he will literally abandon you for. God said if you had a toilet in your compound that he will not answer your prayers, more or less. Remy, you read it.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden now, you have a toilet in your bathroom, in your bedroom. I don't think of it as anything. I want us to go a little further. I want you to go to Acts chapter 10. Acts chapter 10. Read from verse 9. Acts chapter 10, verse 9.
The next day, as Cornelius's messengers were nearing the town, Peter went up on the flat roof to pray. It was about noon, and he was hungry. But while the meal was being prepared, he fell into a trance. He saw the sky open, and something like a large shade was let down by its four corners. In the shade were all sorts of animals, reptiles, and birds. Then a voice said to him, "Get up, Peter, buy and eat them." "No, Lord," Peter declared, "I have never eaten anything that our Jewish laws have declared impure and unclean." But the voice spoke again, "Do not call something unclean if God has made it clean." Verse 16, the same vision was repeated 3 times. Then the sheet was suddenly pulled up to heaven. Peter was very perplexed. What could the vision mean? Just then, the men sent by Cornelius found Simon's house standing outside the gate. They asked if a man named Simon Peter was staying there.
Okay, so no need to go there. So no need to go further, I mean, because we're running out of time and I know Remy's tired. So if we look at this, I know this is about the direct literal translation is go and eat any animal you eat. But the allegorical translation of this is the Gentiles are not unclean. So we have a scripture that has a literal and an allegorical meaning. The allegory is he wasn't talking about reptiles and birds, he was talking about the Gentiles. Because if you follow that up, at that moment, some people came from Cornelius to come and meet Peter. You understand? And then Cornelius was a Gentile. And Cornelius was baptized. And this was the basis of the conversation in Acts chapter 15 when he said, look, guys, we know the work that Peter has done among the Gentiles. So the literal translation is, there is nothing that God has created that is unclean. Remy, I also want you to read Matthew chapter 11, 15, verse 11. Matthew 15, 11.
Says, it's not what goes into your mouth that defiles you. You are defiled by the words that come out of your mouth.
Okay. So it's not what goes into your mouth that defiles you.
What comes
So
out?
eating pork does not defile you as a Christian.
No.
No animal is unclean. The things I made unclean, I've made them clean. It is the Bible's way of creating space for societal evolution. Because the reason why you are not eating pigs, you were not supposed to eat pigs then, was because there were no antibiotics, there were no antiseptics, there was no soap, there was no running water, there were no proper sewage systems. So people were getting sick from eating this particular animal more than eating any other animal. Now let me ask you, why do you think that having bench outside of marriage was such a big deal? I want a logical response. Why do you think it was such a big issue?
I think probably because they didn't have any way to, like there were no ways to stop.
There is no logical answer. But maybe there is. But
there is a case that to control.
Let me tell you some logical answers. One, men wanted to know that their offspring were their own, so they are not raising BASTARDS. Right?
I wanted to.
Men needed to know. Now, a woman that somebody has slept with, how do I know if she's pregnant or not?
Right.
Do you understand? If I am married to a Kwabiola and I go and sleep with somebody outside, I am not going to come to the house and trick a Kwabiola into raising a child. Yes, some men do it and say, oh, this is my cousin, meanwhile it's their child. But with a woman, they just bring the child into the house and she was pregnant, you married her and she was pregnant, and then she has a child, is your child. According to Igbo tradition, even if your wife go bench outside during the marriage, as long as the child is born inside the marriage, now you be the papa.
Yeah.
They have it as a tradition. So, there was no DNA. There were no blood tests. How do I know that Remy, my wife, is giving me my children, not somebody else's children to raise? Right? I'm a warrior. I can bend iron and make swords. I want my son to be able to have my characteristics. So Remy now goes to mate with Shupo, who not gets strength, physical strength, but brings the child to me. I'm raising somebody that I believe will be able to fight. Then we go to the person cannot fight. I don't know if I'm making sense. So those days there was no proper contraceptives.
No contraceptive.
There was no Postinol. There was no DNC.
There was no DNA.
There was no DNA. There were no blood tests. So the only way I could know that Remy's children were my children was that from the moment I marry her, Remy must be tear robber, and I must lock her in my house and control her and watch over her so she doesn't go outside to mate with another man, so that I can ensure that all the children she has are my biological children.
Exactly, except if you lock her in, because that she was a V is not even.
No. It's part. There's a whole system. Now, a father who gives away his V to another man gets money for it. It was 50 shekels. It was good money. So, because there's a desire for Remy the V, Remy's father is going to make money. Demand and supply. I don't know if I'm making sense. So, fathers who had, if I had two daughters, Remy and Eko Abiola. Eko Abiola is not a V. Remy is a V. Let's forget that they are supposed to stone Eko Abiola for not being a V. Even if I manage and get her to marry, they will not pay bride price for her. So she's worthless to me as a daughter, while Remy is worth 50 shekels, a few cows. So I'll probably sell Eko Abiola into slavery. Oh, that was the option. That's how the society worked. Girls that were not V were usually sold as slaves forever. And if you sell a woman as a slave, you cannot buy her back. A man gets freed after 7 years, according to Jewish traditions. So if I have two daughters, Remy the V and Eko Abiola the non-V, Eko Abiola is useless to me. Remy is worth 50 shekels. So I sell Eko Abiola off into slavery, and Remy gets to be the honorable. I'm supposed to throw a wedding for her. They're supposed to have a feast, blah, 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 blah. Eko just goes and they just pay me her money, and anything that the master wants to do with her, I can do. That's his business. Now, Eko Abiola does not want to be sold into slavery. So what does she do? She remains a V. You understand where the logic is coming from now? So there was a whole societal system built around this structure. A man wants to know his biological children. One of the only ways of ensuring this is by getting a V and making sure that from the moment you marry her, you cover her, she stays like this, she cannot go to this place, she must. So if another man mates with her, they must be quiet. It is that serious. A married man sleeping with a single girl is not considered adultery. The man will pay money and marry her. Finish. A man sleeping with another man's possession, meaning if you get her pregnant, you are now going to give another man another child from outside. You deserve to buy. That is how strict that system was. And a societal system is now sold as a God system. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all.
Yeah.
So because a woman that is a non-V is not going to get a bride price, selling her off into slavery is not going to get the full bride price. It's going to be a lot cheaper. The woman doesn't want to be a slave. She wants to be a wife. She covers herself. She doesn't go to certain places. She doesn't want to be seen as unchaste. The society doesn't want an unchaste woman. The father doesn't want an unchaste woman. The husband doesn't want an unchaste woman. So women are forced to be chaste because there's a desire for them. And bride prices were created for V's. Now in today's world, when every woman wants a bride price, whether she's a V or not, and nobody sells their daughters into slavery, why are we still using a system that was built to satisfy a certain time frame? I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense. Do you understand me? Now we have Postino. If Remy, my daughter, gets pregnant for somebody and decides that she doesn't want to keep it, there's DNC, there's Postino, there are even tablets you will take within the first month that everything will come down. The UK, after raising people's children for them for a long time, decide that they don't want to go through with it again. And they, if you go to the, if you at 16, you go to at 12, say if you go, they'll give you contraceptives to prevent. Those days, if you get pregnant, there's no hope you will have that baby, and you will bring disgrace to your family. So we live in a system, in a society that is totally different. The origin of purity culture was because there were societal benefits. Don't get me wrong, there still are some societal benefits, but they are not as important. There's no man that is going to, in 2025, say he will not marry Remy because she's not a V. Nah, Ned Nwoko set, they do those kind of things.
I wanted to say something like that.
You understand? Woman will be V. If you meet her and say she be V, now you jam lock. If you meet her and say she no be V, nobody's going to throw away a good woman because she's not a V. So, like Kamaruddin said, societal benefits are the foundation of purity culture. Those societal benefits don't exist anymore. People are not buying literally from eating pork. People are not rejected by God for having toilets in their houses. How many societal constructs are we going to continue selling when the merits have long disappeared? My ex was not a V. My current wife was not a V. I've dated a few Vs, and I've taken a few Vs that ended up marrying other people. It's not that big a deal as it was in my grandmother's time. It was a thing of societal shame. It was that bad. It was disgrace. People used to stay outside and wait for you to go and knock and come out with a bed sheet with BLOOD. Now, I have teenage daughters. I have one teenage daughter. I have a 21-year-old, that's a young adult, and I have a 23-year-old. So what do I tell them? Am I going to sit with them and tell them they're going to go to hellfire? Sorry, somebody's calling me. I don't know who this is. Hello? Michael, okay, I'll go send them to you now. So am I going to tell them they're going to go to hellfire if they sleep with their boyfriends? Am I going to tell them they're bad, they're useless, they're worthless, no man who wants them if they've slept with somebody in their lives? Absolutely not. Do I want them to be pure? I would love them to be. And I encourage my daughters to stay away from premarital benching. Not because they're going to go to hellfire if they don't. I don't like using fear to sell anything. I don't like using reward to sell anything. I want it to come from you. I want you to genuinely want this. And I believe that you should know the person you are getting married to, so that you may understand if you are going to be able to cope with their type of bensuality. Because benching is one of the most important things in the marriage. It's more important than prayer in a marriage. As in, they are not even mates. You can have a successful marriage without prayer, but you cannot have a successful marriage without benching. So it's very important. And if my daughter tells me that this guy that I want to marry, I want to bench him to see what it is like. I can advise, I can give guidance. I cannot use purity culture to tell her not to. Because there are many women who decided not to sleep with the men they got married to, only to get into the marriage and have real issues.
And the guy had to do press up before he can even do one round.
Is it only press up?
Maybe if he does press up and even stands, he's even lucky.
Exactly.
So I tell people that in the Free Nation, we don't teach purity culture. I've said it many times. If you follow me, I'll never say don't sleep with somebody that you want to get married to. It's not fornication. I've defined fornication many times. All that fornication definition is what they will use to set you up. I asked, how many of our parents were V's when they got married?
They will claim they were.
It's a lie. If your parents are honest with you, they will not. How many of them were really V's? How many of our grandmothers were really V's?
And how many of them were actually 100% loyal to
Inside their marriages?
Inside their marriage.
How many of the V's that entered the marriage as V's remain faithful?
That's true.
These are all conversations we need to have. And if you read Acts chapter 15 verse 10, Remy, I'm ending with this. Acts chapter 15 verse 10.
Right.
Acts chapter 15 verse 10.
So why are you now challenging God by burdening the Gentiles, the Gentile believers, with a yoke that neither we nor our ancestors were able to bear? We believe that we are all saved the same way by the undeserved grace of the Lord Yahushua. Everyone listened quietly as Barnabas and Paul told about the miraculous signs and wonders God had done through them among the Gentiles. When they had finished, James stood and said,
No need to go any further. Why are you placing on the necks of the Gentiles something our answer? Read verse 10 again, sorry, just for emphasis.
So it says, so why are you now challenging God by burdening the Gentile believers with a yoke that neither we nor our ancestors were able to bear?
Why are you challenging your children? I was not a V when I got married. Neither was their mom. Why am I putting a yoke that I could not bear on the necks of my children? My parents were not Fuji musicians. My parents were not street strippers. My mother was a professor of law. My father is a medical doctor. I came from a religious family. If my religious parents could not do it, and no matter how hard they tried to, I was not a V when I married. Before I married, I don't do like, my body count don't go like 20 something. Why am I expecting my children to carry a burden I could not carry? I'm not saying I'm not going to encourage them to, but I'm not going to bend their necks if they find it too hard. I explain to them the consequences. Let them know that there are diseases. Let them know that pregnancy is a real thing. Let them know that the guy who is holding your hand now and telling you, I love you, if the sun should fall and the moon should melt, I will still love you. The moment you carry that belly, mouth go change. I allowed my older kids to raise baby freeze just so they know how much stress it involves raising a child. Like now, we not get made. Now them go wake up for morning, make sure he brushes his teeth, because that one not too like to brush too much. Make sure say in bath. None of them, the thought of pregnancy scares them. How they have to take care of their brother. I left him for them to raise. They practically raised him with supervision from me and my wife. I don't believe that any of my children can get pregnant. Not because I tell them they will go to hell, but because they understand that. Now, I don't tell them, say, if you want to go do masters, you can't get belly. Very good. You go sit down for house, take care. That your master's money, now I go use take train that picking go school.
Do you know how many marriages have crashed in Nigeria? With pastors saying, telling women or couples, intending couples not to sleep together before marriage, and they don't. They tell them, look, if you don't, then the Holy Spirit will be present in your marriage, and then your marriage can last. Yes, the marriage will not last, but you see that body that did everything, that went all the way with her boyfriend before they got married, are still in their marriage till today.
Because she already knows how to handle that. She's got experience.
They are still there enjoying their husband. But you see that one, that good girl that stayed away, that was a brother, sister, uncle. The marriage don't crash. They said don't stick together. Just as if that's what will keep a marriage. That's what was, that is the criteria for a successful marriage.
100%.
Doesn't make sense.
So the balance as we end is teach your children righteousness. Teach them that there are virtues in doing certain things.
Yes,
because my children have asked me once, this one that you are talking, were you a virgin when you got married? So how do I say something that I wasn't, I want you to be it, and they will answer me. I see my pa with cigar, I see my pa with beer. My pa say make I no smoke cigar, drink beer. Now like this how they do. They say, okay, you wait, they smoke. So when it reach my turn, my pa say, the thing they cause cancer, you no get cancer, you no buy, no worry, you no catch me. You understand? You can't say, then you now say, now at that time I didn't know anything. Now I know something. Now I'm born again. Baba.
Born again. I wanted to say that. Some people will use born again to
as you are born again, no worry. Me too, I'll become born again one day.
Marriages in Nigeria is still more successful than the rest of the world. It's not true that people are still together.
Doesn't mean they are successful.
Wife does not necessarily mean that they are happy.
That they are happy. Exactly.
Or that they are
How can you tell me? Let me give you a story. As I'm ending this, let me give you a story. I've said this story many times. So, when I was still in Cool FM, some lady calls me up and says she wants me to help her do jingles. That time I'd started Free the Sheeple Ministry. So this was like 2017. So I didn't have time to do voiceovers and jingles and all that. It used to be a lot of things I used to do those days. So I now said, let me hand you over to a producer that I can trust that will deliver this thing that you want. So I handed her over to a friend of mine who was into
I think you've shared this story
production, before. Blah, 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 blah. So I did it and I forgot about it. And about a year or 2 years later or 6 months later, some time later, this woman called me literally in tears. Okay, what happened? So I went to meet her at Utazi. Utazi was near Cool FM then. So I sat down. I ordered Coke, lemon, and ice. She also ordered. So she was telling me, leaning across the table like, I can never forget that Daddy Freeze. That boy that you gave me did me bad. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that me and this boy were dating and he asked me for money to start a business, and out of the money he bought Camry for his wife and had wedding. Imagine Daddy Freeze. I'm heartbroken. That money was money my husband gave me, and instead I gave it to this guy because I believed he loved me. And he got married. Imagine Daddy Freeze. Is that fair? Me, I can't wonder, say, you say when I want to do production of jingle, how when I take enter reproduction? How
the
did
jingle is
how did
jingle
production?
jingle
Can I
now.
say something?
Hold on. You've not, the story has not finished. So I'm still looking like that cat. There's one cat that they removed its BALLS. Like the cat's like surprise cat. So I'm still looking like, what's going on? The next thing, T-Bills files for divorce from Tiwa Savage because there was TV there. This woman looked at Tiwa Savage and said, that's why I don't like this Tiwa. She can't even keep an ordinary marriage. I sat down, I did like this. So in your own mind, like you are keeping your marriage.
She's so unaware.
As in,
Yeah,
but you
that's why I
see,
wanted to-
that is the hypocrisy
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what-
Nigerian marriages are working. Her marriage is working.
Yeah.
Another thing, she believed that you introducing her, it means that you are actually introducing her to have a relationship with him in her head.
In her head.
Had this guy to, that you are giving.
Look, people, don't get us wrong. We are not like encouraging immorality, okay? So it still makes sense for people to, keep themselves, and this is what we would, want to encourage. Do you know what I mean? But we should not tell, young people that they should, just like DF said, that he's not going to encourage a reward system. That if you keep yourself, if you're pure, then you will be rewarded with a good marriage or a successful marriage, blah, blah, blah. So that, because that may not happen. And you end up not loving God. And then you may want to venture away from that path. Do you get what I mean? So
You get angry with God. You will now
yes,
start.
you will.
Why did this have to happen to me? I was
Why? Exactly. So it will make you question God. So it's best to not use that reward system. But I agree. Please let us preach. It is still good to, keep yourself and be, decent for the sake of it. Don't go about benching.
If you bring up your kids properly, they will know what's good, what's bad. You see all these people that are jumping everywhere. You will know what.
Not just the kids, even yourself. Even you yourself. If you're married, stay faithful. Yes.
Exactly.
Stay faithful
For
to your
example, the
spouse.
children, they will definitely follow. That's another thing. For example, you make yourself an example for the kids, and not be expecting things that you yourself you're not keeping.
Exactly. And work on yourself. Be the person that you're wanting your spouse to be. Do you get what I mean? Work on yourself, before you go into marriage or into marriage. Make sure that you are that person that you're hoping to meet or hoping to get married to. Do you understand? You want a good man, you be good yourself. You want a good woman, you be good yourself. So if your marriage works, congrats. If it doesn't work,
you have to yourself to blame because you have to work. Marriage is the thing you work. You have to make it work for yourself.
Yeah, but be decent. By all means, be decent.
100%. 100%. So, I want us to end here. Think about what we said very carefully. Both Eko Abiola and I are parents to young adults. And I am preaching to you not only from the perspective of a Bible scholar who understands the Bible better than your pastor does, 100%, but also from a 50-year-old who has raised grown or young adults. Purity culture is going to destroy your children faster than it can build them up. Teach your children to love God. Teach your children to be virtuous without tying in the hellfire factor. Let them desire it as
My mom
against.
should be shaking growing up. Oh my God. I'm sorry.
There are people who come home and their parents will remove their pant and go and smell it to see whether they don't go meet man. They not do that one to you. Remy, did
I
they do
dare
it to
not
you?
talk to a guy. Yeah, please, I don't
My
know. My mom did that, but
in school, you can't talk to men because I went to all girls school. You talk to men, they will flog you the assembly. Public flogging. Like, what nonsense.
And at the end of the day, did it stop you people from doing what you people did?
it did. It stopped me.
It stopped you at a certain age. By the time you got to university, did it continue stopping you?
I just kind of like grew into it, you know, and I would say it kind of affected me to an extent, if I can't lie. It did. Or
Me,
maybe
the moment I got out of their house and entered university, I turned to Dauda, the sexy guy. All those things that I was supposed to warm into as a kid, because I was shielded for them for so long, I now had an appetite for destruction. I'm not making this up. You see, I say this, it's a very controversial statement. As I am like this, if a 25-year-old woman sleeps with my 15-year-old son, I don't go report and give police unless she gives him a disease. I know, because I know, say, a 25-year-old woman or a 30-year-old woman would understand what benching is and be able to teach him so that he doesn't do stupid things. With a woman, it's totally different. I wouldn't want a 30-year-old, I wouldn't want a 17-year-old to touch my 14-year-old. Woman is different. Boxing men and women into the same box is dangerous. The standards I have for my daughters are different from the standards I have for my sons. A woman is violated. Maybe me, I was twisted. When I was young, if I was 15 and a 30-year-old, I would have thought that was, whoa. Because I spent...
Yeah, a lot of men were...
Some men found themselves violated by older women. When I was 15...
Not in Nigeria.
When I was 15, now the older woman go run. 40-year-old go see me run, say, Olori Buruku Newa, Kobayin. Run. Do you understand? And we need to allow our men to experience women. Because the biggest problem in this life, for me, what will break my heart is that my son finds another man attractive. That for me is I will take anything as long as it involves him with the opposite gender. Someone said both age groups are wrong. I stand controversial in that particular area. I don't believe a 15-year-old boy is underage. I don't believe. A 15-year-old girl may be underage. An 18-year-old girl may be underage. But a 13, 14-year-old boy, I wasn't underage at 13, 14. I was not underage. I sharp pass. You were a woman. How many men were underage at 13 that you really were underage? At 13, everything I lived my life for was to see who will teach me this thing. I'm not talking about women. Women are vulnerable. Kamorudin said he left home at 16. Someone said 15 is the age of consent in France. I believe the age of consent for men and women should be different. Men should be 13, 14. But you see, when you now make age of consent, it also means other men to the man. No. Age of consent for other men should be like 30. Make it be say, in don't get normal life. Now, in won't be Olori Buruku. Someone said your exposure doesn't make it to be underage. It's not underage. The theory that what theory are you using to prove that it's underage?
It's very bad for a man to be inexperienced and go and marry somebody's daughter.
I'm telling you.
Oh dear,
Hmm.
it is.
Someone say at 20 you don't know
Because you know
anything.
what?
At 20, I could write a book that will inspire 40-year-olds. And I started late because I started at 17. But that 17, it was Whirlpool. I know boys that started at 13, 14.
17 is late. Hey.
17 for a man. I don't know about a woman. I believe for a man, 15, 14, 15. My 23-year-old son doesn't know anything. You see, the problem with that my 23-year-old doesn't know anything is Agege can entice him. That's the danger. That's the danger. That's the danger. You are protecting your children from what will save them. See, now woman, nothing go do am. Just tell her and say, use rubber.
But what woman, what human being will find a 13-year-old attractive?
You never see 13-year-old with handsome.
That's why you hear all these things in schools. Do you not hear them even abroad?
You see, me, I cannot at my age. For me to find you attractive, you have to be at least 30. A big 25-year-old may cut it for me, but you have to be at least 30 for me. But you see, when I was 13, 14, 15,
as a man,
I get mine, though. And I was even slow compared to the boys that I was rolling with in school those days. Those ones were jugununs. You get one of my guys where give 3 of their house girl belle. So they not get house girl again. And the house girls were in their 20s and the boy was 14. Oh, they don't bring new house girl come like this now, buffet. Serve yourself, new.
well, that's what I know he doesn't have control. But the thing is that they will start.
See, let me tell you something. At 14, let me explain something to you about the male biology at 14. At 13, hold on. At 13, if I go to assembly, at 13, you experience what is called a random Bolahon rising by itself. It was if you just stand like Bolahon would all rise. Sote, there was a guy that was arrested because they thought his Bolahon was GUN. They don't call police for him, for Yankee. Google the story. Baba, at 13, I know if he sit anywhere. If I sit down like this, problem don't start. The thing will just by itself stand. So I devised a method through which I go put my hand for my pocket, can't use my hand hold lamb. If not, now like this, I go to walk up and down for streets. It was war. I think that thing slowed down around maybe 18. That whole 13, the worst period in my life was 13, 14, 15. I used to walk around the whole day. The thing just did like this, like stone.
Okay, Dave, can I ask a question? But if the thing rises, is it that that happened because you had that thought in your mind?
Just because you are sitting down. You know, sometimes you can have a thought, sometimes no. The thing will just, the thing they walk.
So now I kind of get it. Why?
So at that 13, the only thing I didn't need somebody that will spoil me. I needed somebody that will coach me. Do it like this, put it here. This is how you do it. Because it was like madness. You go to stand for assembly like they'll say, put your hand behind your back. One day they say, they beat me. I know if you put my hand behind, I'll go put my hand behind my back. Now so I go stand for the whole assembly. And a nika with the way. It was hellfire on earth. So at that 13, you can't tell me, say, person come. Maybe I didn't understand the concept of love. Maybe I would have been heartbroken. Maybe because I didn't, maybe some people experienced it and have a totally different. Because I used to go home and look at my own house. She wearing the warning. You know if you do this thing. One guy came to my school. I know if you forget. The guy, they cried. And I said, we go meet and say, what happened? He said, in your house, girl. MOLEST. I'm now they look and say, 1K, you they cry. As in,
Most women I know,
I
they
could
attract
not
them.
believe it. I was like, I almost said it aloud that, can we hire your house girl? I can't go out. They look my own house girl. I just look at her like this. She said, why are you looking at me? I said, in my mouth, I said, but you are so useless. I'm here. Molest me, may I go school, go cry. So, what am I saying at the end of the day? We have to be careful because we are protecting our children from what will save them and push. Listen, for me, the worst thing that can happen to me is make I find out say my son na Agege. All that one say, well, you think I have a son that resembles me and is 15, and then one 30-year-old woman get something to do, I can't go report and give police. I know answer my, unless she give her sickness. Say she not get sense enough to say wear rubber. If my wife won't arrest him, me go to beg and say, baby, leave him, leave him. He's like me, he's my son. Just leave him. We will talk to him. Say you won't come go arrest the woman. We won't help him. We won't deliver me from Agege.
DF, me, I'm going to bed.
Go to bed, my darling. What I'm saying might not make sense to you, but Remy, I don't know whether you feel that pain. Say me, you find out say your son na Agege.
No, that won't happen to me.
It's not about what will happen to you. What measures are you taking?
It doesn't let it happen, but anyway.
What measures are you taking?
DF, can I explain? Because
Yes.
Agege thing, right?
Yeah.
There's a time when it just doesn't happen. It happens. Wait, DF. Let me just land. I think psychologically something goes wrong. If you notice, right, boys that have not been exposed, right? If you look at them.